me just say this loud and clear. Muhammad was not an Ishmaelite.
Hey, yeah, Muslim here. That's actually not true at all. Even Islamic criticism scholars agree that the Quran states that the Prophet Muhammad would have been from an Arab Ishmaelite descendancy. So I don't know where you're getting this false information from.
And no matter how many Instagram graphics say that there are 3 Abrahamic religions that they can coexist, they're wrong.
Yeah, no, so he's actually right here. There's only going to be 2 Abrahamic faiths. There's going to be Judaism and Islam. Christianity is actually going to be a Pauline Roman pagan religion that has nothing to do with Abraham.
11, 12, 13, 17, 20, 21, 25 absolutely wreck the idea of Abraham ever going to Mecca.
Unfortunately, no one made the argument that the Bible is going to be the criterion of a source of information for when we're going to see that Abraham went to Mecca, right? Like how the Gospels don't record all of Jesus' life, it's just an amount of it. The Bible doesn't record all of Abraham's life, just an amount of it. And actually, the Bible does say that the Kaaba does come from Mecca and was actually made by Abraham and Ishmael, which I'll go over right now. In Arabia and the Arabs, we see Hoyland right here that the Prophet here is stating that the Kaaba belonged to his own God, and here he states here that it is the first sanctuary appointed for mankind at Mecca, a blessed sanctuary and a pilgrimage where Abraham stood to pray. Well, what does the Bible have to say? Well, Psalms 84 says, "Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They are ever praising you. Hearts are set on pilgrimage. Valley of Becca, springs the autumn rains also cover it with pools." What does that mean? Well, one, it's going to be a blessed house where God dwells, where they're always the pilgrims who are going set on pilgrimage are always praising them. Where is the location? The Valley of Becca. Mecca is actually a valley, by the way. And why is it the springs that the autumn of rains cover it with pools? Well, if you didn't know, the Zamzam well probably spurts out around 300,000 to 500,000 gallons of water every single day, and has been doing that since the time of Ishmael. Well, let's look at Isaiah 60, verse 1. "Arise, shine, for your Lord has come, and the glory of the light rises upon you." What is this a parallel with? Deuteronomy 33:2. "The Lord came from Sinai first, then dawned from Seir," Palestine with Jesus, "and then shone forth from Mount Paran," which is in Mecca, where the Prophet Muhammad first received revelation, "and he came with 10,000 saints in a fiery new law." This is making a parallel with Songs of Solomon 5, and this is actually about the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, but this video is not about that. Back to Deuteronomy 33, when we look, it says it dawned over from Seir. Now we know that this is making a parallel with this verse. It can only be in reference with 3 locations: Sinai, Seir, or Mount Paran. Mount Paran being Mecca. Back to Isaiah 60. Now we know the entire context. It has about one of these 3 locations: Seir, Sinai, or Mount Paran. We continue reading verses 6 through 7, and we see all of these groups of people like the Midian, Sheba, Kedar, Nebaioth come together to serve at the glorious temple. So now we know that this quote-unquote glorious temple has to be in one of these 3 locations, and it would have to be after the time of Ishmael, because Kedar is Ishmael's son, and we know that one of the locations is Kedar, and we know Kedar lives in Mecca. I can go much deeper into this, but I don't have enough time. So finally, verse 13, we see that the word "adorn my sanctuary" is used for the temple. Well, the Kaaba's actual name is Masjid al-Haram, which literally translates into sanctuary, so the word here is literally even explicitly mentioned after the time of Ishmael for Kedar's ancestry in the location, which aligns with Mount Paran, and Kedar, Mecca. That's the only connection.